Hi, today we're looking at Binairo, a puzzle that is sometimes also known as Takuzu. This is a logic puzzle which is played on the variable size grid. Here we're looking at a 6x6 grid, a nice easy one-star puzzle, just to get started. Very simple puzzle to learn how to play. We're only looking at zeros and ones. The objective is to fill the grid, fill in the missing zeros and ones so that every set is used. We've got three simple rules to follow. Firstly, no number can appear more than twice consecutively in any row or column. Secondly, each row and column contains the same number of ones and zeros. And finally, no row or column can be duplicated within the puzzle. Pretty easy rules, very simple to learn and pretty simple to get started with as well. First things we can look at are the double numbers like this. We've got two zeros here, and we know that we cannot have more than two consecutive numbers in the same row or column. We've got two zeros in this column, so we cannot put a zero here or here because either one would be causing us to have three zeros in a row. So anytime we see two numbers in a row like that, we know we can put the opposite number either side. So we get a couple of ones there. We've got exactly the same thing going on in this row. We've got two zeros, so we know that requires a one on either side, and that has a knock-on effect. We know we've got two ones in the row here, so we can fill this in as a zero. And also we know that we had to fill it in as a zero because we've got three ones in this row and only two zeros. And as rule number 2 says that each row and column contains the same number of zeros and ones, that also tells us that we have to put a zero in here. We've got two zeros here, so we know we put a one either side. But we can also look at this another way, and that is that if you have two digits, the same with a gap in between, then it has to be the opposite number in the middle. Same reason, logic tells us it has to be the opposite number. If it was the same one, we'd end up with three numbers in a row, which isn't allowed. So we've got a one there, and we've got a one at the top there. We've got another double going on here with the two ones, making that a zero. And we've got a gapper here, a zero either side, which also corresponds to a double zero. So we know that this cell also has to be a one. And of course, we've got these two ones up here, so that's a zero on either side of those, isn't it? Which means we can complete this column because we've got two zeros, but we've got 1, 2, 3 ones. So rule number 2 says that this has to be a zero so that we have the same number of zeros and ones in that column. And the same here with this row. We've only got one missing, one empty cell here. We've got 1, 2, 3 zeros, but only two ones. So we know that we have to put in our third one here, which has a knock-on effect that we now have two ones in the row and also a gapper here. So this is a zero. Then we have to have a zero at the bottom for multiple reasons. That means that we've only got one gap here, which is clearly our one. Now we can use rule 2 to solve this row at the bottom. We have 1, 2, 3 zeros in there. So we have to put a couple of ones in here to complete that. And having done that, this column now contains 1, 2, 3 ones, but only one zero. So we've got to put in a couple more zeros here. And now this top row, same sort of thing, 1, 2, 3 zeros there, which means that these two cells must both be ones. Well, that's given us a gap here. We can't have three ones in a row, so the middle cell has to be a zero, which allows us to complete this final row, 1, 2, 3 zeros there. So we know that that is the one. And that's it. We've solved that puzzle. Really easy, very simple one stars. I say just to understand the rules and the concepts behind the puzzle, but yet considerably larger and considerably more difficult when you start with fewer blue numbers. And you would definitely have to use rule 3, which we haven't really used here, but rule 3 as a reminder says that no row or column can contain the same sequence of ones and zeros. Well, we don't have that problem here, but in larger puzzles, that is some necessary logic that needs to be used to solve the grids. If you want to have a go at this yourself, we've got some free puzzles you can download in a PDF. There's a link in the description.
Hi, I'm Pete. Don't forget you can get our Puzzle Weekly magazine delivered to you every Monday, completely free. Visit the link to get your copy.